गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन प्रजन रंजन यशोदानंदन प्रजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन भजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari, Gandharvika Giridhari Gaur Hari. Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari, Gandharvika Giridhari Gaur Hari. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Ananta Devi, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Ananta Devi. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Ananta Devi, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to Samuel. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki. Hare Krishna. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 6, verse number 70. So the chapter title is Activities of Lord Rishabdev. So this is a prose verse. So we are not going to recite it. Like you, maybe it will be difficult for you to follow. So we'll just read it. Or you would like to try reciting it. Yasyam eva kavaya atmanam aviratam विविधवृजिना संसारा परितापोपताप्य आम मानाम परितापो प्रताप्यमानाम अनुशवनं स्नापयन्तस्त अनुसवनं सनाप्ययन्तास् त एव परया निवृत्य हि अपवर्गम् अत्यांतिकं परम पुरुषार्थम् अपि स्वयं अशादितम् नो एवाद्रियन्ते भगवती यत्त्वेनेवा परिसमाप्त सर्वार्थः. So we'll read word by word translation. Yasyam eva, in which Krishna consciousness or the nectar of devotional service. Kavayaha, the advancement of learned scholars or philosophers in spiritual life. Atmanam, the self. Aviratam, constantly. Vividha, various. Vrijina, full of sins. Sansara, in material existence. Paritapa, from miserable conditions. Upatapya manam, suffering. Anushavanam, without stopping. Snapayantaha, bathing. Tava, by that. Eva, certainly. Paraya, great. Nivritya, with happiness. He, certainly. Apavargam, liberation. Atyantikam, uninterrupted. Param Purushartham, the best of all human achievements. Api, although. Swayam, itself. Asaditam, obtained. No, not. Eva, certainly. Adriyante, endeavor to achieve. Bhagavati ya tvena eva, because of relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Parisamapt sarva artha, those who have ended all kinds of material desires. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki translation. Devotees always bathe themselves in devotional service in order to be relieved from the various tribulations of material existence. By doing this, the devotees enjoy supreme bliss, and liberation personified comes to serve them. Nonetheless, they do not accept that service, even if it is offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. For the devotees, liberation, mukti, is very unimportant because having attained the Lord's transcendental loving service, they have attained everything desirable and have transcended all material desires. Purport. Devotional service unto the Lord is the highest attainment for anyone desiring liberation from the tribulations of material existence. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 6.22, Yam labha chaparam labham mannete nadikam tataha. Gaining this, one thinks there is no greater gain. When one attains the service of the Lord, which is non-different from the Lord, one does not desire anything material. Mukti means relief from material existence. Bilvamangal Thakur says, Mukti hi mukulitanjalaha sevate sman. For a devotee, mukti is not a very great achievement. Mukti means being situated in one's constitutional position. The constitutional position of every living being is that of the Lord's servant. Therefore, when a living entity is engaged in Lord's loving service, he has already attained mukti. Consequently, a devotee does not aspire for mukti, even if it is offered by the Supreme Lord Himself. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टां स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So welcome all of you. Now this is very important verse for all of us in our devotional life. It is kind of an encouraging verse because this verse is this whole chapter is summarizing activities of Lord Rishabdev. And Lord Rishabdev took birth in which dynasty? Dynasty of which son of Swambhu Manu? Priyavrata. Right? So, and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? And in the previous verse, it was very clearly said that one who hears attentively and speaks about the pastimes of Lord Rishabdev will attain what? Will attain pure devotional service to Lord Vasudev. So sometimes it may be seemingly confusing when we hear pastimes of Lord Rishabdeva, right? Are they really pure devotional, But if you see the culmination, if you hear the pastimes of Lord Rishabdev, what will you achieve? We will achieve devotion. We will achieve prema. And here what prema is, what devotion is further highlighted and elaborated. And there cannot be a better glorification than this verse. There are similar verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? In the third canto also, we see in the 29th chapter that there are 5 kind of liberations described, right? What are the 5 kind of liberation? Sayujya. Sayujya is, like merging, right? So, and then Samipya. Samipya is, nearby, or it is said by Prabhupada in translation that become personal associate of Krishna, right? And then Salokya is same planet, like one of the Vaikuntha planets. The worshipper which is worshipping, any of the forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are numerous Vaikuntha planets, and they will achieve the similar, whatever they are worshipping, they will achieve that respective Vaikuntha planets. And then what is next? Sarupya. What is that? Same form. But do we actually achieve the same form? There is some difference, right? The Srivatsa. And what is the final? Sarishti. What is that? Same opulence as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of this, the Vaishnavas, they desire which one? None of these, right? So, but when we first, come acquaintance with Krishna consciousness, right? We come with a basic understanding that what we will achieve, liberation. That is why we have been like dealing with material world with a understanding of give and take. If I invest something, what will be the outcome, right? And if you say, you just keep on endlessly serving or investing, and there is no outcome. So previously, like we have conducted many finance sessions, and we we talk about investment, and then what will be the return, right? So what is the return of this devotional service? Is it nothing, or is it there? See, liberation is kind of like being a medical doctor. I'll give you some example. So if you take paracetamol, like for any fever, so doctors will say take precaution, because if you take too much, then there will be some side effect. So you cannot take any medicine without some medical prescription under experienced medical physician. Now, what is the side effect of devotional service? Just the side effect of devotional service. Side effect of devotional service is liberation. What is said in this verse? That the goddesses of liberation kind of, she will come with folded hands. Prabhupada highlights that Bilma Mangal Thakur said that Mukti Devi will come with folded hands, but the devotee will be not interested. Why? Is out of arrogance, or is there anything else? Is devotee arrogant enough to kind of, is anyone here who can say, no, I am fine, I don't want liberation? At this point of time, maybe we are not, right? So Prabhupada would often say that my disciples, they may not be liberated at this point of time. But if they act as I say, then what happens? They are on the platform of liberation. If they act as I say, then they are on platform of liberation. They are not liberated, but they are on the platform of liberation. If they continue, then they will be liberated. And how many times have we heard that our spiritual master, his body is transcendental, his body is spiritual. What does that mean? Completely engaged in the service of Lordships, Lord Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, Lord Shyam Sundar, right? When someone's mind, intelligence and everything is engaged in service of Lord Shyam Sundar, then it is said by Prabhupada, that is the stage of Samadhi. That is the stage of Samadhi. And what is this? This is bondage. Prabhupada mentions in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, Mukti or liberation means freedom from material consciousness. That is Mukti. Now, if someone is behind the prison bars, for him, if an option is given to come out of the prison, that's a good option, right? But how is that option in comparison to living in the palace of Modi ji, like Modi ji yesterday came, or our Rajyapal, governor, right? So what will be a better option? If the person has an opportunity to live in the palace or in the villa of the Prime Minister or President, what is it in comparison to just being freed from the prison? Insignificant, incomparable, right? Now, what Prabhupada says in the purport, Mukti means relief from material existence. For a devotee, Mukti is not a very great achievement. Why does Prabhupada say that? Why does Prabhupada say? When you are staying in bungalow of Prime Minister or President, what to talk about being free from the prison bar? You are already, you have achieved so much. Right? When you are always engaged in services of Lord Vasudev, Lord Shyam Sundar, then what is it? Right? So our youth, they are always looking forward to go for retreats and, not when you are volunteers. But yeah, when you have an option where, you can have Shravan and Kirtan, right? You look for it, right? Similarly, when devotees, when mass, if you see, they are all exhausted by so many material miseries, right? As long as body is there, miseries will be there. So, Bhagavatam explains these 5 kind of liberation. But it does highlight one more important thing which was also highlighted in the verse. Right? I have highlighted this verse to reiterate the fact that it is consistent message across Bhagavatam. And this verse was spoken by Lord Kapil Dev. Right? Pure Devotional Service is the title of the chapter. And he is speaking to his mother, Devahuti. Right? And what is he speaking? That a pure devotee does not accept any kind of liberation of these 5, even though they are offered by the Supreme Personality. Again, not out of arrogance, right? Because by default they have achieved even more, right? Here, Sayujya in this verse is mentioned as Ek, right? And we devotees are actually disinterested in Ekatva. Why? Prabhupada has kind of reiterated in this fact from the start of the introduction of Bhagavad Gita to the end of Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? End to end, that why we are not interested. Why we are not interested? Because this particular type of liberation does not involve service, right? And why is it, okay, fine, it does not involve service, so what? So what's the problem? That's the constitutional position, right? So here again, the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam talks something about that. What is it? Mukte hitva anyatha rupam sarupam vyavasthita. This is easy to understand. It's someone who knows little bit. Mukti is mukti liberation. Hitva means giving up. Rupam. Rupam is any. Anyatha. Anyatha means other. Right? Rupam, forms. Sarupena vyavasthita. Right? We very often hear Prabhupada saying that what is the ultimate, understanding, climax of someone, who is practicing devotional service on earth is you realize your Swarupa. That is what this verse is saying. The verse is not saying that you just merge in something where you will not have any activity. This verse is talking about that you will be established in your Sarupa. And what is our Sarupa? What does it say? Jivere Sarup hoy Krishnire Nitya Das. And what are these cowherd boys doing with Krishna? They are engaged in their Sarupa. Right? It's not that they are not doing anything. They are blissful. They are enjoying their life. The way we are engaged here, we will be engaged even elsewhere also. Right? And therefore Prabhupada says, when one attains the service of the Lord, which is non-different from the Lord. Now what does it mean? Which is why here Prabhupada says non-different from the Lord. Service is non-different from the Lord. Right? One does not desire anything material. So when services are given, we often say, Prabhuji, ab mat dijiye. बहुत हो गया. I am exhausted. Krishna और मत आओ. Enough of you. Why Prabhupada is saying, when one attains the service of the Lord, which is non-different from the Lord. Prabhupada is saying the service of the Lord is non-different, right? when we talk about chanting, we talk about Harinam. What do we talk? That Harinam is Abhinna Nama Namina. There is no difference between the two. Because Krishna is transcendental. Everything in relation to Krishna is, you all can come in front there. So, everything in relation to Krishna is transcendental. Service to Krishna is transcendental. Now, what is that service? Why then, we get exhausted? What we should do? Why do we, because we have to be practical, right? Otherwise, it is just theory. And even if our science students, they go to school or college, their theory is followed by practical labs, right? Now here in devotional service, majority is practical. There 20-30 marks are practical, 70-80 marks are theory. Here it is opposite, right? How much Shravan Kirtan you do and how much practice do you do, right? Why? Because the ultimate aim is to be engaged in devotional service. So let's see what devotional service is all about. Now why do we get exhausted sometimes practically, right? Because it is very often heard that devotional service should be done 24/7, right? Now what is the gap? Vimala Prabhu, we are not doing it with proper consciousness. What are the things? You come in front. Hey, come. So, not proper consciousness. What are other issues? Still practicing sadhakas. That means we are under the modes. And which verse in Bhagavad Gita says that you have to go beyond modes? And how can you go beyond modes? Yeah. Mamchayo vicharena saguna Brahma. What is Brahma Bhuvaya? Huh?
Translating the modes, platform we reach.
Yes. So, see, the entire 14th chapter talks about modes. That how one point of time or the other point of time we are always under the influence of modes. We are. There is no doubt about it. Right? The question is, because it becomes, really we feel helpless. There is no doubt about it. How helpless we feel. We try our best, but then also, the situations, the practical challenges when it comes, we just give up, right? We just lose out the control we are trying. So does that mean that whatever we are doing, it's not showing its effect? So where is the gap? We are performing devotional service, but still we are under the modes. And what can help us to overcome the modes? Devotional service. We have to try to understand that, the problem is we are in this material world and we have been used to, kind of conditioned to this material world. And we are conditioned to doing things mechanically. And we end up doing our devotional services also mechanically. Prabhupada says one thing repeatedly, that chanting can help you achieve everything. But same n number of times he also says one thing, that chanting should be accompanied by what? No, specifically chanting. Chanting can help you achieve everything, but that chanting should be attentive. It, it should be free from the 10 offenses. As long as we are committing 10 offenses, we will not see the effect. It will be kind of mechanical. And Prabhupada, and we see offenseless chanting, offenseless reading, offenseless hearing, right? And being attentive is the root cause of all these things. Being inattentive is the root cause of all these things. So, if we practice the same devotional life intensely with being conscious of what we are doing, only thing required is being conscious of our devotional services. Don't be mechanical. These are devotional, they are spiritual. Don't, and the whole problem of our life is that it is said that we have come to this world because we wanted to be independent of Krishna, right? Even in our spiritual life we want to be independent. मेरे को ये अच्छा लगता है, उससे सफाई नहीं होगी. अच्छा लगता है, that is fine. You know, purification will not happen with that. I'm coming to the modes. We are under modes. We think we want to do this, and this will be my spiritual enlightenment because I'm doing some spiritual thing. But we have all heard an example. If a person is in well, how can you take the person out, and who can take the person out? Who is outside. So who is free from the modes? Guru and Krishna is represented on this earth by holy name and Guru. Krishna gives you instruction through, and Guru is beyond the. So how you will come? Sagunan Samatitita. Following the instructions of Guru. Don't do anything whimsically. You may think that मैं बहुत बड़ा भक्त हो गया, but that is all external, unfortunately, and that is why we feel helpless and exhausted. Avoiding 10 offenses, following the instructions of Guru is the baseline. Otherwise, devotional service will be devotional service. Even one name of Krishna helps substantially. But that one name of Krishna will definitely help substantially when we chant it without 10 offenses. Right? Now, what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami about bhakti? How does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu define bhakti? Who can recite this Chaitanya Charitamrita was nice? You will recite. There is no mic. Sarvopadi vinurmuktam tatparattvena nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Sarvopadi Vinirmukti. Yesterday I was talking to one devotee. He was saying we have to be free from all these titles and designations. I told him that I put your name in my cell with one title of his college. So I do remember, and I don't type his name, I just type the college. So he said, we want to be free from all these designations. So how can we be free from designations? Right? These designations are actually binding us. Right? These designations of material world. Right? Today morning I was hearing to one class of Srila Prabhupada, and by chance it was very much related to the topic. You know, and that is how nothing in the life happens by chance. Yeah, it's all arranged. So Prabhupada said, all of you are Americans. You think you are Americans. Because you think you are Americans, your senses are driving you towards being in America. We think I am father, I am an employee of Cognizant, Qualcomm, and because we think, we are driven by that understanding. I am mother, I am uncle, I am this, I am that. Because we think so much about it. Prabhupada says that is why you are driven. Your senses are driven. Your mind is driven by that basic understanding. So you will have to be what? Sarvopadi Vinirmukta. Prabhupada used these two words. That you will have to free from this false understanding. That I am an American, I am an Indian, I am black, I am white, I am Brahman, I am Shudra. Right? No, you have to be free. And then what should be the upadhi? I am. Who are we? Servants of. What is the meaning of Krishna's name Rishikesha? He is master of. And who is master of this kurta? Huh? So this kurta should be utilized by the master, not anyone else, right? This purse belongs to Varsha Mataji. If Julie Mataji takes, there will be a fight in the temple. There can be, right? So please try to understand. What happens is, who is the controller of this body? Who is the owner, not the controller? Let's start with basic understanding. Who is the controller? Who is the owner? And he is the enjoyer. Either you agree this or don't call him Rishikesh. Right? Now we are seeing good jalebi, vada, idli at Asha Defense. And our senses are driving us, our mind is driving us. So the problem is, we have to understand, if these particular things belong to temple, they should be utilized by temple authorities, temple devotees, right? If this body belongs to Krishna, this should be utilized for Krishna, by Krishna. For Krishna is devotional service, by Krishna kaise hoga? Who is by Krishna? Who is his representative? Guru. Let him utilize this body. So we will be able to come over the modes if we are working under the instructions of someone who is free from mode, which is Guru. He will utilize this body for Krishna. What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Sanatana Goswami when Sanatana Goswami, out of the infectious disease he wanted to commit? What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? This is my body. You have no right on this body. I will utilize it the way I want. So, until and unless we come to that understanding, to that acceptance, to start with theoretically. But, my dear friends, we all have to help each other to come to that understanding and then to practically imply that. All the so-called designations are artificial imposition on our corrupted mind. लैपटॉप करप्ट हो चुका है, उसको मैकेनिक के पास ले जाओ. Otherwise, it will be of no use. It will only take us faster towards the hell. Nothing more. We have to try to understand. Being a medical doctor, I can explain to you even scientifically. Not on this forum, but otherwise if someone is interested. Right? Now, then how do we understand what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, reiterates about devotional service? And about this verse in discussion today, in his Sikshastakam, famous verse of Sikshastakam, right? So who will recite this? Ishant Prabhu, you will recite this.
न धनम न जनम न सुंदरीम कवितावत विश्वकामयम जन्मानि जन्मानि ईश्वरे भक्तात् भक्तिरहत कीर्तये.
So, once I was hearing to Gaurang Prabhu. So he said that there was one devotee who would only know one tune of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, same as I. I was like kind of very much. I will only sing this tune every time, wherever I am, because my mind does my. If even if I have to follow someone, Madhukant Prabhu has known me for 25 years. He will say, "You even keep quiet when you are repeating, because you cannot even repeat what other person. So you better keep quiet. Don't be loud." So and Gaurang Prabhu was saying that there was a devotee who would go to take one bhakti vriksha, and that devotee will always recite the one kind of kirtan tune. And the devotees requested, Prabhuji, थोड़ा कुछ अलग भी गा दिया करो. तो उसने सीखा. He learned the tunes, different tunes, and he would go by metro, by what do you call trains, the local trains in Mumbai. And then, पूरा वो गाते हुए जाएंगे. And then finally when he goes, what do we do is, नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णा पृष्ठाय, ट्यून गई. ट्यून चला गया. फिर से वही ट्यून. तो so that is why वो मैं इसलिए बोला क्योंकि ना धनम ना जन्म को भी हमने प्रोज से तो बोल दिया है ना. So someone will recite it nicely in a poetry form. Nagaraj Prabhu.
न धनम न जनम न सुंदरीम कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहैतु कीर्तये.
I wonder, because I cannot do this, I wonder how can devotee do that? And they, it's like, just today I was hearing to Advait Gaur Prabhu, and I was fascinated by how devotees, and I was in Delhi, because all of you know that I am going to relocate to Delhi, and because I was there for 4-5 days, Amoglila Prabhu will assign me something on all these days, and the last day he assigned me, you sing Tulsi Aarti. And when they were saying Namo Tulsi Maharani Mat, I went to Amoglila Prabhu, I can do everything but not singing. So here in this verse, what is said? He does not want anything. What do we want? We don't even want liberation. Birth after birth, what do we want? Devotional service. So please try to understand, these are not theoretical and artificial. Like when we sing that song where a Vaishnava passes away, Narottam Das Thakur says, I want to break my head to the stone. And the devotee, I was hearing that in Vrindavan, and the devotee, I don't know who he was, he said that he is not theoretical in that. He really means it. Right? So when Mahaprabhu is saying this, he really means it. When Bhagavatam says, they really mean it. Now, what all of us have to do is to bridge the gap. We have to bridge the gap. That how can we come to where we are today and where we have to, even in our devotional services. Right? So that's very important. And I want to bring something which Prabhupada has written. Prabhupada wrote this prayer on the Jaladuta. So now, whose chance is it? This is going to be a little difficult, right? I can read it as a prose, but someone would like to try? Who would like to try? Some Mataji, our girls, Vaishnavi sister. Oh, Vaishnavi is here. Oh, Harikesh Prabhu will say? Yeah. Right. Vaishnavi? You try? Try. Your trying will be better than our other experts. Oh, mommy, your mother will try? Oh, maybe around you can. She is not able to see. Oh, it's just too small. You can. Ah.
ताहेले आनंद है अबेहा दिग्विजया शिरा चैतन्य कृपा आशीर्याय
अतिशय
अतिशय माया दुष्ट जल दुखी जगते सब सखी वसले इच्छा पूर्ण
होय. Thank you very much, Vaishnavi. We'll clap for her. Thank you. What you did, no one else could do. Okay, thank you. So, this Prabhupada is writing on a Jaladuta, right? And Prabhupada is not writing thinking that someday Vaishnavi will recite it in ISKCON Whitefield. At that time, he was known to only few, like you can count on fingers. And what does he say there? As the vast mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conquers all directions, a flood of transcendental ecstasy will certainly cover the land. When all the sinful, miserable living entities become happy, the Vaishnava's desire is then fulfilled. As the vast mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conquers all directions, a flood of transcendental ecstasy will certainly cover the land. When all the sinful, miserable living entities become happy, the Vaishnava's desire is then fulfilled. So we are also, in Bangalore, we are also trying to, cover the land with mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by inviting Gaur Nitai in our land. So we have this great opportunity, right, to again be engaged in devotional service, right? By physically, by financially, by psychologically, by your ideas, whatever you want. So here is a great opportunity, and we should be eager, even to start with artificially or superficially, to be engaged in some kind of devotional service. Understanding if we follow the Guru Parampara, Krishna reiterates so many times in Bhagavad Gita. You cannot approach him directly. He reiterates, right? How many times? And who? Evam parampara praptam tadvidhi pranipatena, right? And then who can give you? Who is kind of above most? He gives a brief example. Vidya Vina Sampanne. What will be his vision? So here we have all of them in one person, Srila Prabhupada, and in our own respective gurus, right? What we have to do is just to embrace their instructions. And how can you make a Vaishnav happy is written here. What Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18.68. What does he say? That you can, who is my most dear? One who preaches this message. He's already liberated. So we have this opportunity, to sincerely embrace this opportunity. It's very, very rare. Manushyanam Sahesresh. And then what is that verse? Bahunam Janmam. After how many lifetimes we get this opportunity? Don't let complacency creep into your life. And if it is creeping, then it is responsibility of the grahasthas. You have to shake husband and wife have to shake each other. You have to shake your kids. Young youth colleagues have to shake each other. The brahmacharis have to shake each other. Don't be mechanical. Bring in consciousness. Don't let complacency creep into our lives. We have to take these messages in heart, right? How we can actually do it. How we can help others. Those who don't have compassion, they sit in their home with their family members. And they just think about their family members or themselves. You cannot be involved and engaged in devotional service until you compromise your material life. If you think you can balance this, you try and you'll fail. There is no balancing. There is a basic understanding that you will have to compromise one thing. And who are you? You are a spirit soul. You sing it 10 times morning, night, evening. I am a spirit soul, I am not body. And 99% of time, 99.9% of time, I am busy with something I am not. अपने घर में गंदगी है, पड़ोस के घर को सफाई करने जा रहा हूँ. This is what is happening actually. I am soul, but I am busy with body. You cannot cultivate a spiritual life until and unless you stop pampering your body or bodily needs or something which is attached or associated with this body. There is a default understanding that something, if you embrace a spiritual life, this part of life will be compromised. So if you start a spiritual life should be started with this by default understanding. As long as you think everything will be fine, प्रभुजी मटेरियल लाइफ को कैसे बैलेंस करूँ, तब मैं स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ चालू करूँगा, वो सोचते रहना, बेल बज जाएगी. सोचते रहना. देखिए, you know that day will never come, unfortunately, because you are asking something which is, unreasonable, right? And now again go to Vaishnavi, again reciting this next. You have the mic? Okay, you take the mic. You come in front now so that you can
Se kaja je kari bare jnana jadi dila more jagai nahi na dinahina. Tai se tomara kripa jagil
Magiti
jagi magiti chi anurupa ajinu bisabara parivya pravina.
Thank you very much. So here Prabhupada is praying. To whom? To his spiritual master and Krishna. Although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am not worthy or fit to do it. I am very fallen and insignificant. Therefore, O Lord, now I am begging for your mercy so that I may become worthy. For you are the wisest and most experienced of all. This is Prabhupada. And here I put this forward in front of all of you so that I, as Sri Gaur Das, am praying to all of you that my Guru Maharaj has also given me some responsibility. I am praying to all of you and to the Lordship that you please bless me, that you keep me in your prayers, that I can also do. That is what Vaishnava bhajans are all about. We sing them, they have written them for us, not for themselves. Who Prabhupada was, we know. But the mindset we should prepare, because without the blessings of Guru Maharaj and Vaishnavas, we cannot do anything. Right? And in literal sense, how helpless and how incompetent I feel, but only taking it because my Guru Maharaj has instructed, right? So I request all of you to please bless me, to pray, to keep me in your prayers so that I can also serve. This is a humongous task. All of you know it. That we have seen Sri Gaur, and so I request you. In past also he assigned me something, and I could see that when you receive instruction from your Guru Maharaj, he empowers you, right? And all of us have received instructions from our spiritual masters. Have we received personal instruction? What is that instruction? Many times devotees ask me, Prabhuji, हम इतने lucky कब होंगे? वो lucky होंगे वो मेरे को नहीं पता, because these instructions otherwise are very heavy. But all of us have received instructions to follow four regulatory principles, to chant 16 rounds without 10 offenses. What does our spiritual master say during the initiation lecture? Every time he will talk about how to avoid 10 offenses. Right? So with that I would like to end today's session because I was given time till 9:30 and being my last few days of a corporate life, I like to end on time. Hare Krishna. After that, Madhuka, I was talking to Madhuka and Prabhu, I said my corporate life is going to come. So he said, don't worry, your other life is not going to be very much different. You have to be really very skillful there as well. So yeah. So I'd like to open the floor for any comments, maybe in 5 minutes, not more than that. Any, you have? You, flowers there. Randy, you can sit on chair. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki. No questions.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Very nicely, our dear friend, devotee, Grace Sri Gaur Prabhu, he actually given the basic, the essence of our devotional service. And the principle on which actually we are not for any liberation or mukti, because it's the byproduct of devotional service. And the basic fundamental of following devotional Krishna Mahamantra and following the instruction of spiritual master. And when we follow the instruction of spiritual master, we actually get empowered. And as Prabhu was actually saying, that is the realization. And you see the whole Srila Prabhupada's prayer, Prabhupada is showing by his own example. Srila Prabhupada is already empowered. He's an empowered personality, but he still, for all of our benefit, he was showing by his own example. And that is the principle for all of us, that if we want to get special and empowered, we have to actually follow the instruction of spiritual master. So let's thank His Grace Sri Gaur Prabhu by chanting
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
As all of you or many of us know that Sri Gaur Prabhu is moving to Delhi by following the instruction, very special instruction. So it's very mixed feeling for all of us. We are happy because he's getting very good opportunity directly associate with the spiritual master. And we are sad. Why? We are going to be missing his association. Such a gentle, such a wonderful devotees, and somebody's loss is somebody's gain. So today we would like to dedicate the next maybe up to 45 minutes to thank Prabhu and meditate on his transcendental qualities. And because when we actually meditate and glorify devotees, actually we get benefited. And that's the whole topic about the devotees and Vaishnava glorification. So now we'll begin with, and His Grace Kartikeya Prabhu requested because he has to move to the other program. So let's hear from Kartikeya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So in short time, we'll have to go on with the class. I can go on glorifying Prabhuji. We have spent a lot of time together. There are just 3 points which I would like to make. So I'm really very inspired by Prabhuji's Guru Nishtha. Now for a Grasta to be, for a Brahmachari or for a bachelor to give up family and come as a full time is not a big thing. Try and see, it's easy. But for a Grasta, it's not that easy. For a Grasta, it's not that easy. I remember last time when one devotee took a full time, I was discussing with him and he was telling so many challenges. Wife's side, husband's side, this and that. Can you imagine? Maharaj said you should become full time and Prabhuji has become full time. This is not ordinary. Surely this is not ordinary. And When Prabhuji was telling that he's leaving and all that, I'll be going to some other place. So I was saying, रुक जाओ ना, यहाँ भी ठीक ही है Bangalore, you know, we share, everything is good. But Prabhuji was saying that let me go and talk to Guru Maharaj and whatever he says, I'll do that. And Prabhuji had different plans. Prabhuji wanted to stay in Vrindavan, enjoy life. And he went with that mood, and then Maharaj tells him, you become the vice president of ISKCON Dwarka. And Prabhuji was telling me, we had a nice call on that day when this happened. So Prabhuji was sharing that it was almost like Pero Tele Zameen Khisak Gayi. I had a different plan and Maharaj said something else. And in fact, Prabhuji tried it seems, telling Maharaj that Maharaj, I was thinking to go to Vrindavan. There are many people in Vrindavan, you be Dwarka. And he just took it to his heart and soul, and now he's executing that instruction. I'm very inspired by this Guru Nishtha of Prabhuji. Second quality which I meditate on today is his leadership qualities. Still, we brahmacharis in IBC we wonder in this 1 year what Sri Gaur Prabhu did was really unfathomable. Getting all the leaders together, making various different congregation devotees leaders and creating such a big empire and setting up this wonderful Janmashtami that happened. Again and again Prabhuji would call me and we would have discussion. He would say, Prabhuji, first time I'm doing Janmashtami, please help me. First time I'm doing Janmashtami. And towards the end I got to know that what we were planning there was nothing in front of what he had planned here. We were struggling for volunteers and somewhere he got like 120 volunteers in this place. And I could literally understand and admire his leadership qualities. Before Janmashtami, Gita course, again Prabhuji was saying, Prabhuji, Gita course kuch nahi aata mujhe. And then he formed some Bhakti Vriksha about that. Then Janmashtami. And after that again another Gita course. And that was again a great success. So wonderful, wonderful leadership qualities. And thirdly, I was just thinking, I'm very, very small in front of Prabhu. I'm a toddler in front of him. He's very experienced, both material life, spiritual life. But always Prabhu gave the respect to me as an equal. He treated me as an equal. We did so much masti together. I remember over call, while talking and all that. Really, I think we'll miss, at least I will miss a lot. I'm sure everyone else also will miss Prabhuji a lot. It's really wonderful to have such an amazing soul amongst us. And for the last 1 year he was there. He did wonderful service. Just for giving us some solace, he was telling, Prabhuji, don't worry, every 3 months I'll be coming. Maharaj has told me to take care of other disciples who are there, so I'll be coming. And then some clause also he added after that. Agar wo bulayenge to aunga. So I request all the Gopal Vishnu Maharaj disciples that please keep inviting Prabhu so that we also get opportunity to associate with him. Thank you very much, Prabhu. And I beg forgiveness for any offenses if I have committed. You have been very, very kind enough to accept this very neophyte as your subordinate and guiding in various ways. Hare Krishna.
Suppose if we go to project manager and say that we have some plan, he says you do that, probably one will resign. But in a real life, Prabhu did not do that. He exactly followed what his spiritual master asked him to do that. Though he has a plan. And in fact, he is a Brajavasi. He is not a Bangalore Vasi actually. He comes from the Braja and he wanted to go there. But just like Srila Prabhupada had a plan and he was staying in Vrindavan, but finally he went to United States and did much bigger and wonderful. So similarly now we hope. And all of you know that the Dwarka temple is nothing but this very famous brahmacharis coming from the Dwarka temple. Amog Leela Prabhu. So Prabhu will be associating more closely with his grace Amog Leela Prabhu. So now any other devotees take these opportunities? Yes, Prabhu. If you don't know, it's Nagaraj Prabhu.
Not coming to us.
One quality which I meditate on, Prabhu's, is the personal touch. normally leaders, whenever they need us, they give us a call and we have to visit and we have to go to meetings and all. But such a kind leader, first of all, nobody calls me, and on Govardhan Puja day, he calls me. I said, why Gaur Prabhu is calling me? And he says, I want to give you a Govardhan picture. I want to come to your home. First of all, nobody calls me and nobody visits me. And leader himself is trying to visit my home. I was like surprised. I told my wife, Gaur Prabhu is coming home. She was like, what should we prepare? First we will ask him, what is his schedule? So he personally comes to my home and delivers this Govardhan picture. He tells me he has not done just to me, he has done it to everybody, whoever is in his list. He started morning 8 o'clock, and when he reached my home, it was around 4:30 in the evening. He visited so many of them, and like Kartikeya Prabhu was telling in the end, I'm very small, but he always treated me like equal, very friendly, always guiding me and trying to push me to attend this japa in the morning, which he does. Many devotees join, and somehow from last 2 years of conditioning, I was not able to join. But last few days, I made it a point. I have revealed this to Yugal Kishore Prabhu also to push my things back, and now I am joining his japa in the morning with him. So it is his hard work which has put me on track. Like he tell very gently but very firmly, आपको करना है, बस करना है. That's very nice. Very nice. It touches the point. People who have to understand will understand. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, being very nice to me. Though I don't deserve it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Gently but firmly. Very nice.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Would not like to miss this opportunity, obviously, to glorify the elevated Vaishnava like His Grace Shri Gaur Prabhuji. My limited observation in my limited way, what I saw was that I think in this area we started way back in 2011, and I keep repeating this with Janmashtami festival. That time His Grace Vaishnav Prabhuji was also not. I think at that time Prabhuji you were not there, right? Or you came little later, but that you were there. Right? So that time it started, and obviously there was investment happening in this area from congregation devotees, but somewhere we needed a forcing function, a force where we could come together and really create a difference. And I felt that Lord Krishna sent His Grace Shri Gaur Prabhuji to our place. And one thing which personally I've observed about him was like this amazing combination he has. Sometimes as devotees, we are good at something, not good at everything. Probably we are good at devotee care, we are not good financially. We are good financially, not good at devotee care. We are good at both, not good at arranging yatras. We are good at yatras, not good at leading the congregation group. Now you pick up any and everything. Prabhuji has been the best. Right? I mean, I think anybody, congregation devotees who are there, they will feel that actually Prabhuji's focus was on him only. Like Krishna is available for everyone. ऐसा फीलिंग है कि प्रभु जी मुझ पे ध्यान नहीं दिए, है ना? प्रभु जी ने मतलब इक्वली सब पे ध्यान दिया है, और ये पता चलता है प्रभु जी का हार्ट कितना प्योर है, प्रभु जी कितने मरमई हैं. He is so soft, he connects everybody so well, and that's where that His Grace Kartikeya Prabhuji mentioned about Janmashtami. I felt that because when the leader is neutral, the leader is not biased, right? Even I'm saying biased in terms of thinking. He allows others to grow. Even though others have limitation, the leader is not thinking that he has limitation because he is soul. Right? He is disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Hence, if you give the opportunity, he will definitely grow. Prabhuji ने मतलब ऐसे initiatives लिए हैं जो कि which is mind-boggling, right? I mean, sitting on Vyasasana, and lot of us first time came and not deserving at all, by the way, but because of Prabhuji's mercy, we sat on Vyasasana and started preaching to the walkers, the new ones which is coming, and I am sure that for congregation devotees, the life has transformed because of that. They started preparing, they started reading personally, And also morning chanting group is there. Prabhuji very religiously follows at 4 o'clock. We join that as well, and every Sunday some great Vaishnavas come and share about the glorification of holy name. So list is huge, cannot stop. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Prabhuji and also Mataji. Behind Prabhuji's back, she is very nicely supporting. I think we don't mention that at all. And what Prabhuji has done, and he is 24/7 available of us for us because it's also sacrifice of Mataji. So thank you, Mataji, so much.
Devotees are soft in heart and all-rounder. So just a little bit I had cricket background. So all-rounder means like suppose somebody is a batsman but he's not able to bowl. But somebody is a bowler who cannot bat. He will come on the 9th or 10th order, right? But somebody is an all-rounder who can bat and who can bowl. So and they are the match winner. So that's the all-rounder that. Shivram Prabhu. And also Mataji side.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I am hiding my emotions. I am broken actually, Prabhuji. I could not believe that you are leaving, but yeah, we know that your blessings will be there. And the kind of handholding you have done, the kind of prescription you gave, the spiritual prescription, that has transformed my life. I don't know him very much personally, but whatever we have seen, without being attached, without being personal, he looked like very strict to me. But once you talk to him, he's so approachable. He gives that feeling that little filmy, but Mayamuna kind of feeling he gives. But don't worry, I'm there. So yeah, and I had I don't know, in a very weaker moment, I had called him that I was crying and I was in a different mood. But he said, okay, calm down. And he listened to me for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And like a very expert doctor, he gave me one prescription. Join the morning chanting, everything else will be fine. And Prabhuji, thank you so much. I'll be missing you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. When we come to Krishna consciousness, initially what attracts is a philosophy, but what actually takes us to the path, this ocean, that is the relationship. And it's not only theoretically we actually get transformed, but here is a live example who said that he actually transformed, he got transformation. And that transformation is the cause of the prescription given by a spiritual doctor. Because
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Actually, I don't feel qualified to come and speak anything for Sri Gaur Prabhu, but still, I didn't want to miss this opportunity and then Pastava ho baat nahi bol paya main. So he is very, very humble. I remember the first time I went with the yatra for him, my mala bag which was hanging was not clean. So he said, your kurta may be dirty, but mala bag should be very clean. So these small things which are there, which makes a person remember for lifelong. And he himself came and started closing my buttons which are little open. Now you smart, he says. So that way, a personal touch is very much there. Even in the group, if you are standing and you come from back and he is always already speaking to leaders, he just from backside he'll hold your hand, say that yes, I'm giving you attention. That means you are there in my mind. So that way, personal touch is also always there. And thirdly, yes, I was chanting. I was earlier also was part of morning japa talk started by Sri Sudhir Gopal Prabhu, but that also he merged in his group, and then we started having this morning japa session and the talk. So I regularly try to attend that, and then he's telling me the next thing is you should start attending morning IBC program, that is 4:30 Mangal Aarti. So I'm planning for that, but still not prepared. So yes, and then he was the one, when I met with an accident, he was the one who came running along with other colleagues and just specifying nothing, don't worry, everything will be fine. So that personal touch and then inspiration and then giving boost up was very like a family. And apart from other devotees who also boosted me. So Prabhu, please always keep us in your mind and heart. So that is what we always want. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Impersonalist does not actually stay for a long time because there is no loving exchanges. And the loving exchange is actually part of the Rupa Goswami says that Sarvidhim Priti Lakshanam. They are the loving exchanges and you take and give. And this is where is that. So as a Bhakti Riksha leader, wherever we are actually leader in whatever capacity, as a father, as a project manager, as a devotee, we are actually leader in whatever capacity. And the important aspect which is actually coming again and again is the personal touch. If we remove that personal touch, we become impersonal. And the impersonal means a dry philosophy, and we will not really exchange, we will not able to enjoy that exchanges. So Sachidananda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, while all the devotees were glorifying His great Sri Gaur Prabhu, I just remembered this is one of my favorite verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto. Durlabho manusho deho dehi nam shanabhanguna tatrapi durlabha manyam vaikuntha priyadarshanam. So, in this sloka it said the human form of life is very, very rare. But the more rarer than this, the rarest of this is the association of the devotees, vaikuntha priyadarshanam. So, definitely association of devotees like Sri Gaur Prabhu is very, very rare. And especially in my life, I didn't meet Prabhuji here, I know Prabhuji from more than 10 years now. We were in Murgeshwara together when I passed out from my post-graduation and came to Bangalore. We were staying near Prabhuji's house. And at that time also, Prabhuji used to do weekly programs and I got an opportunity to mingle with Prabhuji in those programs. From that time onwards, I was with Prabhuji. Actually, recently when I decided to came to Bangalore once again, so it so happened that I was thinking where to go. Because in Bangalore, I know mainly two devotees, His Grace Harikshetra Prabhu and His Grace Sri Gaur Prabhu. And of course, both of them are here at the IBC ACS Loot, and I was very happy that to come back here. So, and I was feeling very happy that because there's someone with whom I can share my heart. Because even Rupa Goswami says, Dadati Pratigrihnati Guhyam Akyati Prichati Guhyam. Revealing one's heart and confidence with the devotees is a very important part of devotional service, and I always felt comfortable in sharing my heart with Sri Gaur Prabhuji, and that was really an asset for me. But I will miss that again. Of course, I'll keep in touch with Prabhuji through online because thanks to Krishna there is an online platform also. so that provision is always there, and like everyone said, Prabhuji has been hearing me and is with me from more than 10 years. I was very happy. But one of the other thing also I remembered from Srimad Bhagavatam, this is from 3rd canto. Titikshava karunika suruda sarvadehina ajata shatrava shanta sadhava sadhubhushana. Actually, the sadhu, saintly person, is recognized by the qualities, not by simply by external appearance. So, if you meditate on this qualities, Titikshava is very tolerant actually. Whenever you see him interacting with devotees or any way where he's interacting, he's always tolerant. He's not in a hurry to that, oh no, just I have to complete and then get lost or get away from here. Titikshava. Karunika is very merciful. And especially everyone said that he's mercifully engaging all the leaders here and so many preaching programs here led. And personally, when I came to Bangalore, I got an opportunity to lead Bhakti Vriksha and then recently Gita course. Actually, this is a mercy for the devotees, right? Because engaging a devotee in Krishna service is a very rare thing. So that Prabhuji was very good at Titikshava Karunika, Suhruda Sarvadeham. He was always thinking about the welfare of every living entity, and especially who are coming here, is thinking that not to miss any jiva who is coming here, and that's why Prabhuji started leading so many programs to have an outreach. Recently during book distribution, we have done so many programs to reach out to different living entities. Karunika Suruda Sarvadehinam Ajata Shatrava. I don't think I never heard that because he's such a good leader. He is not conscious of his position. Actually, that's why I don't feel anyone speaking ill words about him. So Ajata Shatra, Shanta is always peaceful. Why? Because I spent with him quite some time. Like I know the foundation of his peacefulness is he's very strict in chanting his holy names. Even though he sleeps very late at night, I see him waking up early in the morning by sharp 3:30, and then he chants. So that is the basis of his fundamental nature of peacefulness. Shantava, Sadhava, Sadhu Bhushana. So he's filled with all the good qualities, sadhu qualities. So I really thank Prabhuji. Definitely I will miss him, but as I said, I will not miss him through online platform. One more thing is also speciality between both of us. Wherever he goes, I run after. So of course I told him I will not come to Delhi. So I really thank Prabhuji once again. I miss him. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
It is a great fortune that we have someone where we can actually open or reveal our heart. And not everybody, so devotees that we have opportunities to have someone, may not be everybody, at least we should have one person where we can go and reveal our heart. And Sri Gaur Prabhu was actually acting that where the devotees can come and reveal their heart. It is really great fortune because in material life, everybody is talking about what is benefit for me. But here is someone who can actually be available for others and ready to hear because we are. So let's hear from Ati Chandra Prabhu.
Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So this is very shock for me also, like Prabhuji is going. So actually Prabhuji was giving hints so many times, but like I was not like wondering that Prabhuji will go like that. So it is like in 1 year, like Prabhuji has made such a like because of his so good qualities, like what Sachin was mentioning. So like I met first time with Prabhuji during before COVID time. So when we were distributing the books and Prabhuji and Mataji came during that time. So that was the first meet, but I was not that much interacted that time with Prabhuji. And after COVID, so when we started this first time the Gita course, then Prabhuji called me and telling me that I need someone who can help assist the Gita course and all the activities. So I was thinking why Prabhuji is like calling me. There are so many devotees. Then later I got realized that actually Prabhuji wanted me to engage in some kind of service because I was really very alone and I'm not doing any kind of service. So actually what like Nishantu also mentioned that Prabhuji engaged everyone in some kind of service. So like I was Prabhuji many times telling me that Atichand Prabhu, you are not engaged in any active preaching activity, so please do something because without preaching will not survive. So Prabhuji forcing every time like okay do. So I was thinking why Prabhuji is saying, and later I realized that yeah, that is the activity that if we do, we actually advance in Krishna consciousness. So then Prabhuji told me to start an online Gita course, and then I started, and then I realized that yeah, it is really something that when we do some service, active service, then we will feel the change in the heart. So and Prabhuji like he also taking us to Vrindavan Govardhan retreat, and that is actually the transform happens that we are missing from like I was in ISKCON so many years, but we were missing so many things, and Prabhuji in just 1 year like he realized that we are missing so many activities in Krishna consciousness that we should be the part of, and we should be engaged in that kind of service. So again, Prabhuji, by his nature, nobody can say that Prabhuji is so exalted, because that is like how it is. Prabhuji is humble, and at the same time, Mataji is also very humble. Like we cannot like just by seeing that oh this Prabhuji is so exalted, but by qualities only, Vaishnava qualities, we can see that oh this devotee is so good. So thank you so much Prabhuji for giving your so valuable association and time. Your time is very precious,
and you have given that time to us. And one thing that I have learned from Prabhuji's life is wake up early, sleep early. So that is what Prabhuji, as soon as the time clocks, Prabhuji like he like very much hurry to go to home and then sleep and wake up early at 3:30 or 3 o'clock. So that is what I have learned from Prabhuji life, and I will try to apply that in my life also, so that I am also able to do something in this Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Now preaching will be finished very quickly. So preaching is a very important aspect of our sadhana or spiritual practices. So I would request Srinivas Srinivas Prabhu, and then Anupam Krishna Prabhu, and anybody from Mataji side.
Hare Krishna. So I'm not qualified to actually give glorification here. So two things. So basically during the Janmashtami time, so Prabhu was so approachable. So it's he called me once, and then Prabhu said, okay, we need to go to the schools, to invite them to actually for the Janmashtami. And he called me, and then I'm coming. So we all should go. I'll actually have one devotee, and then we both will go to the one of the school where my daughter studies. So so on that day it was not possible, and then Prabhu actually, we had an agreement. On another day we will go, and on that day, so Prabhu came, and then we went, and we met the principal, and. So why I'm saying this? So leader actually on the ground is actually with the people. I mean with the devotees. So that is one. And another thing is humble in terms whatever is when you approach Prabhu, and he is easily approachable, right? So when you approach, so your whatever is you're going for, it is done. However, I will give one example. So Gita course has happened, and then some of the Bhakti Vriksha members also supported, and then we will get the members also distributed for the Bhakti Vrikshas. And it happened like less number of devotees finalized, and we could not get everyone members. So I approached Prabhu, so we need to do something. And Prabhu said, yeah, we should actually consider. And that's what the personal touch, and so each and individual devotee, so he quickly gave an idea that okay, well, let's do a distribution in an apartment so that Bhakti Vriksha member will get an opportunity to start teaching there. So these two instances, I really felt like so how we should we should actually devotee care as such, in the Janmashtami time, devotee care as well. I never seen, and so that is how I think many of all the devotees, many of us also agree with me that he has taken care of everyone. So I'm sure there is a void, Sri Gaur here, definitely, and so we all together will actually try to fill in that void, and as a congregation group. Thank you so much, and please pray for us, for our congregation progress. Thank you. Thank you.
Leader means he should be approachable and on the ground. Wonderful. In fact, if we don't do that, opposite to that, in the recent political scenario, you have seen that one leader was not approachable, and you know the history what happened. So we should be approachable. Anupam Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So yeah, I would like to speak in Hindi. Like, although I'm not having much association with Prabhuji, मुझे ज़्यादा समय नहीं मिला प्रभु जी के साथ. पिछले 6-8 महीनों में प्रभु जी ने पूरी लाइफ जो है हमारी चेंज कर दी. So reason because we were not knowing each other, and then first time Sri Gaur Prabhu came, and then as all of you said that he is very directly approach all without seeing that what standard of devotee he is, एंड प्रभु जी अपने से 4 सीढ़ी नीचे उतर के 10 सीढ़ी नीचे उतरना पड़े तभी भी जाके नीचे जा कर के उसको ऊपर उठा के लाते हैं। वो नहीं देखते कि कोई कैसा वैष्णव है, उसके क्या करता है, वो उसकी चैंटिंग अच्छी है या नहीं है, सारी सारी की सारी उसकी कमियों को साइड में रख के और प्रभु जी उसको नीचे जाके उठा के लाते हैं। हमेशा जब भी कभी कोई प्रॉब्लम आई तो प्रभु जी ऑलवेज यूज टू डिस्कस अबाउट लाइक प्रभु जी इसमें ऐसा करें तो कैसा होगा, उसको ये सर्विस दे तो वैसा करें, इसको ये सर्विस दे सकते हैं। मतलब यूज टू डिस्कस वेरी क्लोजली विद मी ड्यूरिंग द जन्माष्टमी सेलिब्रेशन बिकॉज प्रभु जी वॉज न्यू ईयर। सो यूज टू आस्क एज वेल लाइक प्रभु जी ये डिवोटी की क्वालिटी कैसी है, क्योंकि मैं यहाँ पहले से था एंड दैट मीन्स आई यूज टू थिंक दैट why Prabhuji is asking me? I'm not even that kind of a senior devotee. There are other senior devotees as well. That's what I felt like. Prabhuji उसके अंदर क्या क्वालिटी है ये देखे बिना उसको सर्विस में लगाते हैं। हर किसी को सर्विस में लगाने की जो क्वालिटी प्रभु जी के अंदर है वो बहुत ही यूनिक है। और प्रभु जी को मैंने देखा है कि वो एक ऐसे गृहस्थ हैं जिनको साधु कहना गलत नहीं होगा, क्योंकि प्रभु जी अपने तन मन धन सब कुछ भगवान की सेवा में लगाते हैं। मैंने बिल्कुल बहुत करीब से प्रभु जी को देखा है। तो पिछले 6-8 महीनों में मुझे बहुत सौभाग्य मिला कि प्रभु जी के बहुत क्लोजली काम करने का। ऑल्दो दैट इज अनदर स्टोरी दैट प्रभु जी ऑलवेज let everyone think that he is the closest person to you. So that is what the beauty. But Prabhuji is a very, very nice leader. Very, I would really, missing his association. बहुत मिस करेंगे प्रभुजी आपको। बस आप अपनी प्रार्थना में रखिए हम सबको। हरे कृष्णा।
Leader comes down to the level of the individual devotee. Fantastic. Mataji. We'll have 2 more from here, and then I will request. Vijay Narasimha. Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, Mamta Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Everybody just feels like there is one image in the back of the group. For me, like mother and father. Both of you, please accept me as your ignorant child, and as causeless mercy of Krishna and Prabhupada Guruji. Prabhupada Guruji says that there is Krishna consciousness in every heart. It's already there. Somebody should awaken that. And it happens only with the help of Guru. I thank Mataji and Prabhuji for waking that Krishna consciousness in me. They are my first Gurus of Krishna consciousness in this world. I would like to travel and follow the instructions of both of them. And I wait for their instructions. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna consciousness is already there, and as a transparent medium of disciplic succession, we have to just ignite that fire. And here is the example.
Hare Krishna. माझ्या पत्रापेक्षा कृपासिन भयवच्या पतितानां पावनं So, person I am very grateful. His Holiness Vaishnava Ashwasthama Maharaj says, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada has done a lot for us, and we should feel grateful what Prabhupada has did for us. Otherwise, हम नमक हराम बन जाएंगे Prabhupada जी के प्रति. Therefore, Srila Prabhuji, he did a lot for me. Such as at very beginning, when I met Guru Maharaj in Rameshwaram Matra, I hold hands of Shiva Prabhuji. Shiva Prabhuji मेरे को जाने के लिए दम नहीं हो रहा है. देखे जाओ मुझे. He took me with him and he said he is personalized. Aspiring from you. Then it was heart touching. For me, Prabhuji said whenever you go to Delhi, you just call me. I'll arrange meeting with Guru Maharaj. You can go and approach Guru Maharaj and you can interact with him, he said. So Shiva Prabhuji, he personally did a lot for me. I feel really, really very grateful. And Prabhuji will serve with all sincerity at your lotus feet as per my capacity. And Prabhuji, during my initiation, Prabhuji has said, we can't balance material life and spiritual life together. I thought I planned a lot during my initiation, my examinations were going on, and it is my 7th final examinations, and बहुत सारे मैथ्स फॉलोइंग कर गया, ऐसा हुआ तो मैं ऐसा करूँगा, ऐसा हुआ तो ऐसा करूँगा.
लास्ट में सब कुछ उलट पुलट हो गया, कुछ नहीं कर पाया. Now I'm gonna go ahead with examinations, like initiation related. And Shiva Prabhuji, like he arranged like rooms. Pro आपको कुछ चाहिए बोल तो you call many times I'll be there. Like he has like been like a father for me. And I pray at the feet of Srila Prabhupada that like he all keep us in his shelter, and I shall serve him with my best capacity. प्रभुजी बहुत सारे पास टाइम्स है जहाँ मैं शिवा प्रभुजी के साथ लाइक इंटरेक्ट करा था. He told me जब मैं पकड़ लेता हूँ मैं छोड़ूंगा नहीं. Bro, प्रभुजी आप मुझे पकड़ लो छोड़ो. Please do come visit ISKCON Whitefield. आप मैं बुलाया हुआ. So like I'm really very grateful for you. Please keep me. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Our merciful Lord is like this. Once somebody comes in contact with Krishna, Krishna will never leave. And Srila Prabhupada said that all you have to do that, you hold my dhoti and you will go back to Godhead. And following in the same parampara, Prabhu is saying that मैं छोड़ता नहीं. Hare Krishna. And Vijay Narasimha.
Hare Krishna. So please accept my humble obeisances to all the devotees. So I'm not qualified to speak about the glories of Prabhuji, but a little bit whatever I have observed and whatever little association I got, and so I'll just speak. As all the devotees have mentioned that how Prabhuji is so much approachable, and he connects with everybody. It doesn't matter if he's a youth, if he's a congregation devotee, she's a Mataji, it doesn't matter actually. So he connects with everybody. Prabhuji connects with everybody, and he gives a personal touch to everybody, and contributes in each and every devotee's life in some way or the another. So every devotee is actually connected to Prabhuji in one way or the another. And then one more quality I would like to, which I've observed actually. I went to Shiva Prabhuji's house once, and in all the classes, most of the classes, Prabhuji tells that whatever he speaks, he actually practices in his own life. So one of the things which I observed there is, so Prabhuji was sitting with his laptop, and I was also sitting, so it's his office laptop, and he says in his classes that you should be engaged 24 hours in Krishna's service. So I could practically see. So when I was there, so I could see that although the office laptop was there, but sometimes he was checking his mails and all, that's it, and some calls here and there. But apart from that, he was always on call with some devotee and then talking to somebody, and even in Vrindavan, he was also arranging for the Vrindavan Yatra, which we are going to have after some time, and also for Burijan Prabhu's visit. So he was always engaged in the service, always. So I could see from the morning till night, till sleeping, he's always engaged, and obviously sleeping also. So 24 hours he's engaged in the service. So basically the qualities, whatever he speaks in the classes, Prabhuji speaks in the classes, he is actually practicing in his own life. That's what I was really touched by that. So, and he's very strict about his sadhana. I have seen, because Prabhuji used to come here and in the morning he used to chant with us. So I could see that how sincerely Prabhuji chants, and so attentively. So whatever he says in the classes, he's actually practicing. But it's opposite with me. Whatever I tell, I don't practice. So I would like to imbibe this quality that if I speak something, I should practice in my own life. So that's one of the qualities which I really appreciate. Thank you.
Devotees means walk the talk. So there is no difference between achar and prachar, and it should be similar. Otherwise, there will be kind of a hypocrite things. Hypocrisy will get revealed.
Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji has been here for we feel it's short time. We expected him to be here for as long as we are around. It's just like all the disciples of Prabhupada. They never thought Prabhupada will not be there. So at one point Prabhupada was not there and they were wondering what to do next. So it is like this. So I just remember this katha from Gaur Leela. It's like all the devotees from Kulinagram, they approached Mahaprabhu, what can we do to serve and how can we become devotees? And Mahaprabhu said, in Kulinagram, like you can bring ropes from Kulinagram for pulling the rath. And next year, again, the devotees came and they said, we are householders, how can we become devotees? Same question they asked. They said, and we want to serve devotees, we want to serve Vaishnava. And they asked, then the residents of Kulingram asked, how can you identify who is a Vaishnava? And Mahaprabhu said, anyone who chants the holy name once, he is a Vaishnava. And they took it to their heart. Again, they went back. Again, they came back and said, Mahaprabhu, we are householders. How can we become devotees? And Mahaprabhu repeated the same answer, Sarva Vaishnava. And next time, Mahaprabhu said, anyone who chants continuously, non-stop, he is a Vaishnava. Then devotees, the residents took it to heart and then they went back. Next year again they approached Mahaprabhu, how to chant, how to become a devotee, how to serve a Vaishnava, how to identify a Vaishnava. And Mahaprabhu said, anyone you see and you want to, you see them, you see a person and you want to, you think of Lord and you want to become devotee and start, you just by looking at them you start chanting, he is a Vaishnava. So that is the quality that we see in Sri Gaur Prabhuji. It is that spark like that he gave us by his presence. Like any chef, any experienced qualified chef can prepare any excellent dish and recipe. One ingredient, if he misses, the taste will not come, and that is salt. So Prabhuji was like that. So we were like, especially congregation devotees. I mean, something that I can relate to. We were missing that big spark that we were and we have been trying to do this online chanting, group chanting for like since the corona started. Everyone got onto this online chanting Zoom call. We tried, it never succeeded. We got onto. I think we were earlier with Krishna and Prabhu. We started that, and then somewhere in the middle it just tapered down, and we all lost. We lost connection. Then again we started somewhere, and then we were all. The devotees will come. They'll put video is off, mic is off, and we'll all be chanting. We don't know who is chanting, who is not chanting. So and then Prabhuji started, and everyone is on video call. I'm wondering how, actually I have a little back issue, but it is some sort of mental pressure that, I have to be there on video. That is what Prabhuji has done to me. That it's like, if there is, this is like practicing devotion in association of devotees, doing sadhana in association of devotees. This is something that Prabhuji has given to us so nicely. I can go on speaking. There are so many experiences that I have had with Prabhuji personally, and his relationship with other devotees. And I don't remember this kind of Thanksgiving we have had for any other devotee in IBC specifically. So, and Prabhuji, because of my own ignorance, if I would have done some offense to you, kindly forgive me and keep me strongly in your prayers, because that is the only, that is the only hope I have to progress in Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much.
One of the qualities of devotees is Daksha, is very expert, and everything is there, but there is no salt, and then we loses the whole thing. So similarly, Prabhu acting as a catalyst, as a salt, and giving the taste and the nourishment to the devotees. So because we see at the time, and Prabhu also has to join another program at 11 o'clock at PLH. So now Deepak Prabhu, Rahul Prabhu, and Sudhir Gopal Prabhu, and Harishatra Prabhu will end.
Hare Krishna. I would like to say a few, 2 points actually. One thing, I met Shri Gaur Prabhu for our Akshar Yoga Gita course that was before COVID. We just had a book distribution there, and we thought we can do Gita course there, and then we were looking for a leader, who will take. Everyone was thinking, Harishad Prabhu, and others are saying you can take, but I was thinking, oh, I can't take even Gita course on this. I'm okay with the Bhakti Riksha only. That is more informal, or it's easy for me. But then I don't know, where Shri Gaur Prabhu came, and Prabhu said, Shri Gaur Prabhu will take the Gita course. And Shri Gaur Prabhu, who is, I don't know. First time, Prabhuji ko main janta bhi nahi tha. Then, okay. But one class only we did in Akshar Yoga, and then COVID started, and only one physical class basically. And then we thought, okay, there is some this thing, and government also has banned this gathering. So 1 week, 2 weeks, we postponed it, and then after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then we were discussing, Prabhuji, I was discussing, Prabhuji क्या करना है, कैसे होगा, one class ही हुआ है. तो Prabhuji बोलते हैं ये तो चलेगा, because he is doctor, so he knows. So he told, this will go on Prabhu. Then we have to do something. We have to start online. So by that time we have also seen Kartika Prabhu, so everyone has started online things. So Prabhuji encouraged so much for online, and in online that time, now it is now in regular thing, but that time we were only physically we were doing, and online is very so much challenges. Even platform, the online things, those things, so many things we discussed. Ms. Prabhuji has so much commitment that he took it, and he also started this online, we could able to do. And very nice, that was, Prabhuji put so much effort, because it was online, and many devotees are going. We were discussing after, every week after class, we were discussing how to retain the public. In online, people are going like that. So that was the thing. His commitment and dedication. I learned a lot from Prabhuji. And on another thing, it's personal thing actually. When we were planning for my brother-in-law's marriage in Vrindavan. Yeah, so Prabhuji gave so much time, even for this, it's personal thing. But he was talking to me for 1 hour, 2 hours like that, and planning. He helped me to plan everything, because he has so many connections, so many people so many devotees basically. And on the call only, Prabhuji said, Prabhuji kaise hoga? Who will do this thing, accommodation, this thing? Prabhu, I'll just take him in the call. Raghunandan Prabhu is the pujari head in the Vrindavan. Prabhuji direct उनको call कर दिए. He was not in India. So Prabhuji का phone माताजी ने उठाया. And then Prabhuji को पता चला कि he is not in India. So, but he was so helpful. उसी समय कॉल कर देते हैं. उसी समय मतलब कुछ भी है. It's very nice. And so many things. Even when we were in Vrindavan, we were finding accommodation. उससे पहले प्रभु ने बोल दिया था कि whenever you feel something, some problem, just call me. So I called from there only. कुछ प्रभु जी ने किसी का नंबर बताया था. I was not able to find. I called him. Prabhuji, I am not able to talk to that person. So Prabhuji ne bola, okay, no problem. I will just arrange this thing. So so helpful. So much Prabhuji has done for all of us. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for all of your effort and all of your help. Please forgive me, Prabhuji, if anything I did any offenses, or please keep us on your prayers. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Personal touch, I think that's coming again and again and again. Personal touch. So I will request the youngest, the Brahmachari, Rahul Prabhu.
Probably those are the good days when you had decided to take charge of IBC. You would come every morning and sit over here with us and then help us out whenever there was any issue. You would also come in the mornings, early morning. You would come Mangalati. You had the service of doing the Mangalati also a few times, and I got the fortune of being able to assist you during those services. Thank you so much for that, Prabhuji. It's exactly like the story of Lord Ram, where he was assigned to take charge of the throne, and then but due to instructions he had to leaving all your people here. You were always there, ready to serve the devotees, and you were really beloved devotees, just like Lord Ram. And within you, you have a new mission in life, hopefully a very exciting mission, Prabhuji. I've written a couple of things, which is, Prabhuji, you gave me the opportunity to, take up this option, this role of giving Bhagavad Gita classes here. Without the push that you gave her, it would never be possible for me. I really have this stage fear somehow. I'm able to stand here and give this talk to you. So, and just like a father, I remember those days you were there with us during the COVID times, and not just the COVID times, even after that, during all the tough times, you were always there for us. It didn't matter whether it was day or night, you were always there to always help us. You gave us the right consultation, the required prescriptions, and you were the one who taught me how to give the injection to devotees here. Thank you so much for your guidance, really. So many divine qualities.
Harishet Prabhu was the guinea pig.
Thank you so much for all the guidance you've given us, really. And you, just like a father, you were there for all the brahmacharis here, really. And you'll never be forgotten for all the help you've given us, really. And it never mattered whether it was day or night. I remember calling Prabhuji. I was down with COVID, and like early morning, around 4:30, 5 o'clock, I ringed up Prabhuji and rang up Prabhuji, and Prabhuji was there. He gave me the right consultation, and like somehow we were able to get through those tough times just by your mercy and all the help that you've given us. And just like you mentioned, divine qualities. So true that you have so many divine qualities, but you're even more merciful than the Lord, because Lord Ram he told his people to stay away, don't follow him, but then you, so merciful, you told me that you can come to Delhi anytime. Thank you so much for that also, Prabhuji. So many memorable moments, Prabhuji, so many things. I found there's nothing much coming in my mind, but you've always been there for us. Thank you so much for everything. You'll surely create a huge void, a huge hole in our hearts that cannot be covered. Someone mentioned that we'll try to cover it, but I'm sure they can never be covered because like you've been an important part in our life, really. Thank you so much for everything. Hare Krishna, Hare.
Prabhu's personal touch and the affection is not only to grahasthas, but even brahmacharis also affected. And in fact, I remember it was around 2006, somewhere time when we were coming from Jagannath Mandir. Prabhu was so expert, and we are coming in his car, and we had a very little space there. And I said, Prabhu, will you able to take the car? Chinta mat karo, aap baithiye. So Prabhu is so expert. Not only in the spiritual and material things and spiritual, both the things. So just like he said that he trained him how to give injection. So one doctor training, making others as a doctor. Similarly, a devotee making other as a devotees. So that is the devotee's bhakti. Because bhakti can come only from bhakta. And that's why it is said that it's causeless mercy. Because bhakti is not dependent on any other qualification. It is only bhakta who can give big bhakti to others. And as he said, even devotees are more merciful. And he quoted Lord Ramchandra. You know, we are approaching Ram Navami, and it actually gives us the reminds us of the qualities of the Prabhu Ramchandra ji and how devotees are also equally merciful. So one of the things which I see from Prabhu is that he's so soft, very gentle, and he's always thinking that how can I be service to others? And one day when we were discussing, he said, Prabhu, you know what? Our brahmacharis are so packed with their services, they don't have enough time and rest for their services. What we can do? And then we were discussing many things, and one of the things then he analyzed the situation. He said, all our devotees, especially brahmacharis, they sleep 10:30, 11 o'clock night and they are getting early. It is not good for health. And then he said that what he's going to do and all those things. So that shows that that the devotees is so soft in their heart and always thinking that how can I be a service to others. And another thing that Prabhu's most of us actually said that he's actually back to the basics, and our basics is sadhana. And many of you said that he gets up early in the morning, and when the whole world is sleeping, and Prabhu is awake actually, and he starts chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Not only that, if you see many of us got touched here, because he started that morning japa, and most of the devotees are actually joining that. So our basic is actually chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he has shown by his own example that how if you want to make a progress on spirituality for personal life as well as a leader, we have to be back to the basics, and the basics is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As a leader, when we are doing Janmashtami here, that previous night when we met, we had a brigade program, and we came back, and there was nothing. And he said, Prabhu, no, what would happen? He said, don't worry. And then he allowed all of us to go home and take rest. He personally was behind there. And I remember Raghavendra Prabhu, and then Prem Data Murari Prabhu, Ati Chandra Prabhu, and some of the devotees were there. They were awake whole night. And that is the leader. And that's, he shows by his own example, so soft, so gentle. I mean, it is, I personally get so many inspiration from Prabhu. When we discuss, always is thinking that how can I be a service to other devotees? And it is very good mood. It's a mood of Srila Prabhupada. It's a mood of Srila Prabhupada's disciple that generally when we come from the material consciousness, the center is me. But Prabhu's center is that how can I be a service to others? And that is the reflection of all the devotees coming and glorify us. Vijay Narasimha Prabhu said that it's not that we are forcing somebody and you come and glorify. Voluntarily they are coming and glorifying. That is the indication of how we actually touched the people's heart. So wonderful, and I wish that Prabhu would have been here for many, many years, but we have our plan, and Krishna has his plan, and Krishna always wins. So I request, so I wish all the best to Prabhu, and please come regularly to Bangalore. And we always welcome you and give us a guide and directions. We are happy to have for you. So I request Sudhir Gopal Prabhu and Hari Chakra Prabhu. आपको चांस मिलेगा.
Yugal Kishore Prabhu has been, for me, he has been an exemplary devotee.
a devotee who is so intelligent, so experienced, so senior, yet at the same time very grounded, very humble. He's one person who has supported me. Like you call someone and they may be busy, they may not pick up because they are in office call, but he was the one person who would always pick up my phone because I needed him so much, and he never disappointed. Like he was always there, and contrary to what many of you said, like I would be agitated, but you would not know. Only he would know, and he will calm me down. Ki ho jayega. And I was the finance in charge. And I didn't realize what finance in charge means actually during Janmashtami. Prabhuji said sab ho jayega. So I was calm during Janmashtami because he was there to hold my hand, always, and even thereafter, so sometimes you don't see who is behind the curtain. So he's the man who was behind me for everything you saw. And even moving forward, he will be there for all of you, So we are very fortunate to have Yoga Vishwa Prabhu.
Prabhu's humility, so it is very. We are mesmerized by his qualities.
Hare Krishna. That's a very beautiful prayer by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. I would like to repeat. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Prema Maro Taro Priya. Prema Maro Taro Priya. Sakha Rupan Bhakta Ganam. Sakha Rupan Bhakta Ganam. Krishna Prema Phala Pradam. Krishna Prema Phala Pradam. So here in this Chaitanya Charitamrita Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is praying. He is offering his obeisances to the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is a Premamara Taru, is a Bhakti Vriksha. And he is also praying not only to the Lord, but to all the branches of that tree of love of Godhead. Sakha Rupan Bhakta Gana. So, like His Japada Swami Maharaj always says that Gaur Leela doesn't end with Chaitanya Charitamrita book. Right? Now, given an opportunity, if Vyasdev has to come again, or the representative of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has to come, they will definitely continue to glorify these unlimited qualities of so many Vaishnavas. Like the qualities of Vaishnavas are like the waves of the ocean. They are like the innumerable dust in the earth. Like even the Mahaprabhu says that within his 5 mouths also, you would really like to continue again and again. And now you could see a really glimpse of it, how devotees wanted to continue more and more and more. And the glories of Sri Guru Prabhu. Yes, we have been friends for so many years. What we have seen primarily and first of all, I think I would really like to share our indebted gratitude to Mataji. Because as a Grihastha, as some of the devotees were saying, there are so many responsibilities at home. There are so many expectations at home. And how Mataji has been, standing as a pillar, to really support each and everything, whatever Prabhuji is doing. And, so, as I said, maybe it goes back to 15 years earlier, when some of the devotees talked about Smurges Palya programs, where so many senior devotees used to come. And then how Mataji used to serve and invite everybody and really serve a very delicious prasadam. And she used to really support at every step of Prabhuji, whether like when Prabhuji said that okay, let's go to Vrindavan or let's go to Bangalore or now let's go back to once again Delhi, right? That really shows the kind of the qualities they have, right? In helping each other, supporting each other as a family. So they are really like first of all very wonderful, exemplary couple, that we can really think of. And as some Mataji's also said, right, they are like the true mother and father of so many devotees here. And like, because as a mother, right, the first concern is to take care of the health. And Mataji is a doctor, right, personally, right, I have given Mataji's contact to so many, right, not only devotees, even to some of my colleagues also. Right, yeah, you can just reach out to Mataji, like, this Dr. Mamta, and she will take care of you. And Mataji would kind of spend hours really, like guiding them, and especially during the COVID time, pre-COVID or post-COVID, she was always there. So I would really like to thank Mataji for all your exemplary attribute that we have, like how we always hear that, in serving in the background, right? Mataji really exemplifies that quality. She's always there in the background, so you might not see her, but she's always there, giving that strong support to Prabhuji. And next, right, what really kind of really touched me the most, like this one quality of Prabhuji, the Vaishnava Seva. And right, like as some of the devotees might be knowing that he was in Vrindavan for so long, right, for a decade. And of course, he's from Bharatpur, he's a Brajavasi. And while he was in Vrindavan, every other day, right, he would take Prabhupada's disciples to Govardhan, like, and he would be serving very intimately, very dearly to all the Prabhupada's disciples there, right? Either it's a Brijan Prabhu or like, so many sannyasis, they would come to Vrindavan and Prabhuji would be there, always. And in Vrindavan, every day, right, like, he would go for, like, the Swadagoswami temple darshan, every Ekadasi, you do Vrindavan Parikrama. Like, what really, kind of touches is that really his, like, the purity is the force, what do we say, right? It's not that we might see something external, right? Like, okay, maybe somebody has accomplished this much or that much, but as the devotees talked about is the basics of really serving the devotees. By serving the devotees, by appreciating the qualities of the devotees, and we acquire those qualities. Why we are kind of appreciating somebody? Right? By appreciating, by serving those devotees, we get their good qualities. It's not that we can practice or we can cultivate the good qualities on our own. Right? This is the sutra he's teaching us. This is the sutra our acharyas are teaching us. It's not that, like Prabhupada also said that, like it's not that Asirvad Bhavas, right? Like we just get Asirvad from somebody by just asking for Asirvad. No, right? By serving the devotees, we get their blessings. That Prabhuji is really, telling that, like, whether it's a Chato Boda, like whether it's a deep Prabhupada's disciple or a sannyasi, or somebody has just come into Krishna consciousness, it doesn't matter, right? Like, yes, he is seeing that Lord in everybody's heart, and he is really serving them with his full attention and full capacity. Right? It does not really differentiate, right? Whether he deserves or doesn't deserve. And I think that's the reason actually, right? A leader is not about creating so many followers. Right? Like, yes, and if somebody with eloquence and some extra characteristics, right? Like some material power can create so many followers, right? But the true leader is the one who creates exemplary leaders. Right? And here we have seen that how Prabhuji has cultivated and groomed so many leaders. Just a couple of years ago, maybe we didn't know, like so many devotees, like our, whether it's Satyananda Vigraha Prabhu, Anand Gaur Prabhu, Achyandra Prabhu, and through this Bhagavad Gita evening sessions, right? He has brought so many preachers, right? We are thinking that how, and we were always thinking that how to create leaders in this movement, how to create leaders in this in our society. Right? There's just one platform. Like, we really spoke to so many devotees. Their faith got so much boosted up. Right? Yes, it is possible for us to speak Krishna Katha. and to really, make our faith in Krishna consciousness stronger. Right? He has really empowered them. Right? He has connected them so well, and then he has really empowered them so many devotees. Right? And it's really, really exemplary. Right? And even like we saw that, okay, everybody is talking about Prabhuji's, Grihasthas, but what about Mataji's? Right? And she is the one who started, who inspired girls this idea to start their Gita course. And she really pulled in, our Madhvat Puskarani Mataji, and now, yesterday we saw that so many devotees were there, so blissfully singing and dancing and honoring prasadam. Right? We might not see, right, always the actual reason behind it, but he is the one who really kind of brought it all together. His mood is always that how we can really come together and serve Srila Prabhupada. How all of us can come together and go, little closer, right? And as some of you already said that, he does it by example, right? Like we have seen, not now, right? Even you previous to his Vrindavan Yatra also, right? During 2008, 9, 10, during those days also, every year he would be distributing thousands of Bhagavad Gita. He would be really, collecting some donation from his colleagues, from relatives, and so on, and then he would be really going out, right? And once you really talk about book distribution, really, what is we all hear about humility. And what is the definition of humility? That Krishna Kaviraj Goswami says, Uttama Harya Apanaka Manehina. Like he's such a very, very distinguished post, right, in his corporate ladder. Right, it's vice president of a kind of a pharma research company. Kind of doing the cutting edge research in the cancer and so many other, having a team all over the world. Right? But at the same time, he would be kind of going in the street and distributing Prabhupada's books. And it's so much of enthusiasm. Right? And yes, it's easy to talk about it, but to kind of do it, right, reading it from the front, it really takes a lot. Right? And then we talk about Gita course or doing a Bhakti Vriksha also. Now you always want, okay, we should have so many members, right, in our class, then only we should have a Bhakti Vriksha. Oh, we should have so many members, then only we should have a Gita course. Right? When Prabhuji started his online Gita course, right, like after this Akshay Yoga, of course, we are very thankful to Prabhuji also, because Prabhuji started with Akshay Yoga, now we are trying to follow his footsteps, right, in Akshay Yoga. But when we started an online program, Prabhuji was doing an online Gita course. Any guess how many participants were there? Any know? Yes, 3 or 4. And do you know what Prabhuji was doing? Right? He was preparing hours and hours of effort preparing slides. Beautiful slides. He would research from so many devotees and then he would prepare beautiful slides and then he share with only those 3-4 devotees. Like, this is what we can really see, that how much absorbed you are in your service. Right? And the result will automatically come. At that time, he was not really looking for that, okay, all these devotees will become, big ones and things like that. I am doing it for my purification. I am doing it for my growth. Right? And the rest of the things are really, byproducts. Right? But then, that really gives a lot of confidence to all of us. That's also we can really learn that. Not too much worried, right? Whether somebody will get benefited or not. Am I really putting my 100% effort, my sincere commitment in the service of Prabhupada or not? Right? That's exactly really pleases the Lord. Right? We hear it again and again. Right? We are not doing it just for for the growth of somebody else. It's for our purification. So I know we have so many things, and Prabhuji is already looking into time. It's already getting late. But yes, we are very, very thankful to Prabhuji, Mataji, and the entire family. Right? So wherever they are, they continue to pray for us. They continue to inspire us. And please pray at the lotus feet of Gandhara Giridhari Mahaprabhu that we can also get those qualities and the services of Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So when I was earlier in Bangalore, I was kind of, when you change cities, you cannot, you fail to continue your spiritual life with the same enthusiasm, and I was in the same shape. So once Radhanath Swami Maharaj came for Journey of Home launch, And I met my mentor, Radharman Prabhu, because he was also there. And whenever I see him, I get a lot of energy. And that time I knew Kishorinath Prabhu because he used to take classes in Sheshadipuram. So I approached him, can I get connected to some Bhakti Riksha or something? So he directed me to Sudhir Gopal Prabhu. And that was the day, and today is the day. He has not left me. He is the one who has guided me very, personally in my spiritual life, has always encouraged me, mentored me, handholded me. In whatever you see me today, a lot of it has to be done with how, he kind of does what he does. Especially, what you are saying, like he connected me to Bhakti Rikshas, to all the programs, he would invite me, encourage me. Before I went to Vrindavan, actually, that was the time. There were so many weekly programs and other things. And even now, like philosophically also, when I have to take any class, I'll reach out to Prabhuji, what should I speak, what should I do? Because, I'm very weak in philosophy. So philosophy is not cup of mine, I'm not very strong in it. So he would guide me, encourage me to go deep in philosophy also, and also tell me, if you are taking class, we should refer to this. So, and he was the one who told me and guided me how to upload your recordings on YouTube. Such small things. And so with these things, you can understand how much he has guided and supported me. So I'm very, very thankful to you, Prabhuji, and to all what you did and everyone. And please keep guiding me. Even the Dwarka class, I was with him for an hour. Probably but there, the time does not go like whatever you want, you have to stop on time. So, thank you very much, Rohini, for all your support and guidance, and I will request you to please continue to show your blessings. And Jagannathji, we know Jagannathji only with the way you showed us, so please continue.
Thank you, Prabhu. As an individual, as a Prabhu's qualities, but the one thing that really, as a group, as an organization, that help is that association of His Grace Gurujan Das Prabhu and His Holiness Ashish Krishna Maharaj, so many sannyasis and stalwarts in our movement. Had Prabhu not been connected to our center, I don't think that Gurujan Prabhu coming to our center and giving a seminar on Japa, and that is our great fortune. And that great fortune is because of another great devotee. So I request Harikshetra Prabhu, and then we will.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much, Sridhar Prabhu, for all the services here. And as Prabhuji was mentioning, it's a mixed feeling that now we are losing a very nice leader, and at the same time, now mission is gaining somewhere else in a bigger way. So, as Gopal Prabhu was mentioning, in 2008-9, so that time, we used to visit Prabhuji's house in Wintunnel Road, in Mukesh Palya. So there, we would have the IIT boys would come. So Sachidanand Vigrahu and Vipin Prabhu, many devotees, and even Chandrasekhar also used to come there. Not. So later he did. So there sometimes I used to go and give class there. So me, Rasviri Bhu and all. And then when we started the first big scale Janmashtami in Kalyana Mandap in 2011, so that time we wanted to roam around in this place and do a lot of background activities. So then Prabhu gave his car unconditionally, leke use karo. So then we were driving around everywhere and doing the promotions and everything, like all possible services for Janmashtami was done with his car. And then later he moved to Vrindavan, and then after he came back, he was assisting us in some small preaching programs and all. And then last year, sometime we were very much sure that we'll get the land and we'll move. And then we were kind of, at that time, we were kind of contemplating, should we close the center or keep the center and things like that. So then Vijay Narasimha told we should keep and we should find somebody. So in the discussion, his name came. So then I was discussing with all the core team members, and everybody liked the idea. And the moment he took charge, really amazing work he actually did. So in addition to the spiritual qualities which Sudhir Papa was highlighting, so even after having spiritual qualities, certain important leadership qualities are very, very essential for leading and taking forward a team together. So one of the things is listening skills. Like Prabhu, one time he mentioned to me, like, Prabhu, you should listen more. You're speaking low. You should listen more. So, that was a very nice this one. And later on, I saw it in practice also. How when he goes to some people, sometimes leaders think that we are leaders, so we should tell people, we should instruct people. So, but then he just simply puts the problem like, this is the problem, how to solve, and then he keeps listening from people, and people give idea, people execute the idea also. And those people who keeps telling that, no, you should do this, you should do this, finally, like, nobody is there for them to do because everybody is afraid of such people. So this devotee comes, he'll tell something. So the listening aspect is very, very amazing. And then the another aspect which I saw is like being there in the ground with the devotees and being there in the ground, literally, he executed, he was there in the ground in Janmashtami. So not just on the day, like even before, and always be there in the ground level execution. And at the same time, very nice delegation. So people, are nicely, they got the responsibility and they did their services. And whenever they felt like something is not completed, or something is not possible. So one good quality I saw is like Prabhu would not give an inspirational class at that point in time. He will really give inspiration by saying like, don't worry, I'm there. That much is sufficient. Sometimes leader thinks that we should give a pep talk. Nice pep talk we should give, nicely inspire, and quote past tense from here and there and things like that, and devotees will do. Finally devotees will not do. So because they have tried out, so like then they will not do that. So he is very expert in releasing the heat in the moment of nice like services which was going on. So many other leadership qualities are there. So I know the time is also taking a lot. So at this point in time, I would like to take the opportunity to invite Sudhir Prabhu and Igal Kishore Prabhu to present this gift. We didn't know what to give for Prabhu. It should not be redundant. So we took advice of Mataji So and also today we got to know Mataji's birthday. Mataji's birthday is here. So we made a cake for Sridhar Prabhu. But that cake will transfer to Mataji. And also today is birthday of Vijay Narsim Prabhu. We will have a nice cake cutting ceremony now. So we can just quickly close the altar. So, because there is a little bit of time, so I can add a little more. So, Prabhu is always there as a spiritual and material doctor also. So, he would prescribe so nicely the medicines.
Thank you very much. Why they have questions? Because they know I am weak in reading.
After you log in, we will give a little more books also. Because after we log in, only we can do that.
So I'm very thankful to Harishet Prabhu. They're not new to us. We have known each other for many years, more than a decade. Prabhuji is the one who forced me, the way sometimes you feel that I kind of encourage her. He encouraged me to first time sit on the Vyasasana. And that is what I faced in my life, I try that you all should not face. So Harishet Prabhu, the slides which I make for Gita course is the slides which he gave me. The skeleton, if you see, is the same slides of Gita course. And then, the whole Bhagavad Gita and everything.
and the opportunity, which he gave me to purify myself, to take some responsibility of this center. Also, it was he, and if it was not his leadership, then I would not have got that opportunity to purify myself and to serve Prabhupada and Lord Shri Krishna. And there were many things which Harishet Prabhu and I had done, and without his guidance, without his support, he would. One thing which I learned from him was the power of prayers. He would always highlight in his personal life, and that is something which I never realized, the power of prayers. And he would say, he would not tell me that you should pray. He would just tell me that how does he do when it comes to praying, and that was his consistent thing, which by association I kind of. And then I also now every day before I start my chanting, and with everything I do, I really pray very deeply, and this is something which will help me in my Krishna consciousness life. So I'm really thankful to Prabhuji for that thing, and he would always encourage me with everything. And as I talked about Kishore Prabhu, he would calm me down. Harishet Prabhu was one, with your manager or your peers, you just vent out everything. You would not come to because I am kind of in leadership role in corporate, so I know. With your leaders, you can be free. You don't have to worry. But you will never come. The team will never come to know what challenges we are facing and all. So I always went out, all the challenges, all the frustrations. So he was the one who would hear and also guide me. This is something. Because although I have been quite a skilled leader in corporate world, I would tell that in corporate world, when it comes to people management, there will be very few who could manage people the way I would. I can proudly say, I cannot manage project. I can manage people. But in a spiritual world, it's totally a different ball game. Your corporate skills doesn't work in spiritual things are transcendental. These all things what we learn from corporate are material. They do help, but you have to really refine yourself. So Prabhuji is the one who faced me in this transition, and he really helped me, guided me that Shri Gaur Prabhu, this is kind of a voluntary and this will not work, and this is how we have to control, and this is how we. So I'm really thankful, and I apologize also because I hurt you also many times, and Prabhuji would say that you have a soft heart but a sharp tongue. And you would not realize how come Shri Gaur Prabhu has a sharp tongue. Prabhuji knows because I'll be direct, So yeah, I'm really sorry. And also thankful to you for all what you have given me as an opportunity. Without the experience which I have here, I would be devastated to do what I would be doing there, what Guru Maharaj is asking me. So this is going to, this learning is really going to go a long way in my spiritual life, and I will be able to please my Guru and Vaishnava and the entire community only because what I have got from here. So I'm thankful and indebted to all of you, and Harishet Prabhu, Yoga Krishna, Bandhu Vada Prabhu is here. I'm really thankful, to all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, brother. So, very few words. Once I asked Prabhu that, Prabhu, how could you do all so many things? And he said, actually, I do everything, but the whole house is managed by Mataji. And today happened to be Mataji's birthday, so wish Mataji and Vijay Narasimha Prabhu the very happy Krishna conscious birthday, and may Lord Narasimha Dev Gandharva Gadari shower their choicest blessing on them.
So it's Hare Krishna. It's a little difficult time because Prabhu was he just started off with managing the ACS center, and we thought it would go great, but then he had a call, he had to go, and obviously always we will miss his association. He had been a great leadership, a lot of expectations were there, and I personally I had opportunity to work a little bit before Prabhu went to Vrindavan and then came back. This time I couldn't work so much with him, but he has always been a great inspiration for all of us and Mataji as well. And a lot of people were looking upon him, especially, and it was. It will be a miss for our congregation, but it will definitely be a great boon for Prabhu. He is going more closer to his spiritual master service, and wherever he is, our only service is to please Guru and Prabhupada. So, wish all the best for you, Prabhu, Mataji, so that wherever you are, we will continue doing our service. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So Bandhu Mata Prabhuji is the one to whom I used to submit my sadhana charts before I went to Vrindavan. So every week, I think so it was every week, I would submit my sadhana charts to Prabhuji. He may still find them in his email. So Prabhuji has been, his brother was the one with whom we first came in touch, and then both of them were kind of our, examples for Grastas. Prabhuji was already initiated at that time, so we are very lucky to have Prabhuji. And every time the devotees, as Prabhuji said, this time we didn't interact so much, but every devotee, every old devotee I met, they had so much regard and respect. The way Bandhu Mata Prabhu trusts them, like Nagaraj Prabhu was the one who speaks, Vijay Narasimha Prabhu, and there were others also who would say so much that he would, after Janmashtami, he will distribute so many gifts and something, the way he touches devotees. I think so, it was, I don't remember, was it Vikram Chaitanya Prabhu who was talking about the Mata Prabhu. So, we're very, very fortunate, Prabhuji, to have you. Thank you very much for whatever you did for me personally and for everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I request you to say something.
I just want to thank all of you because actually I'm a shy person. I don't talk so much, but on the background I got so many opportunities serving with him. In so many Gita courses I used to go along with him, and in the background I used to serve you. If I have committed any offenses towards you, please forgive me. That's all I want to say.
We had a Gita course here, Women's Association, and we need a volunteer. And you know who was the first volunteer? Mataji was there, and she was doing all the giving So thank you, and Prabhu, Vijay Narasimha Prabhu and Mataji and Prabhu. Couples. Yeah. Mataji, we'll sing the song for Prabhu.
आप जब तक उठेंगे प्रभु नहीं होते.
When we serve other, we also get. That's why.
Mataji.
Hare
for the choices blessing on Vijay Narasimha Prabhu, Mataji, and our dear friend, His Grace Sri Gaur Prabhu. So let's chant one time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.